Hey sweet friends, welcome back to this week's video. I'm so happy to have you here. If you are new, my name is Sammy and I really hope that you decide to stick around because this week I have 5 amazing quick and easy chicken recipes that are sure to please any picky eater or non-picky eater in your house. So sit back and enjoy this video as I share 5 of my family's favorite chicken suppers with you all. So first up, I'm going to go ahead and make Marry Me chicken. I have never made this before, so this was a new to us recipe, but it was fantastic. It is definitely a must try. So here I'm just showing you everything that you'll need to make this recipe. And we're going to have some asparagus on the side, so that's why I have that laying there. But you just have some Badia complete, parmesan, butter, let's see, chicken bouillon, some sun-dried tomatoes, Parmesan cheese, garlic, and I've already cut up my chicken breasts. I just sliced them in half, that way they cook quicker, and then some basil as well. So first what you'll want to do is just go ahead and get some butter, and I'm just using my iron skillet here. It's the best thing ever. And we're going to go ahead and just fry up that chicken and make sure that it is seared on both sides the way you have that flavor. You don't want to cook it all the way through because it is going to go into the oven here in a little bit, but we're just going to season that with some Badia complete on both sides, and like I said, just cook that until it is browned on both sides. While that is doing its thing, I had some butter, olive oil, and garlic in this pan, and I'm just going to go ahead and saute my asparagus up with a little bit of Cavender's on top. And now the chicken is done. So what I've done is taken that out. I'm going to put some butter back in that pan and scrape up all of those little brown bits off the bottom of this, because that is flavor, y'all. You need all of that scraped up. And we're going to deglaze the pan here in a little bit, but you'll want to add some garlic in first and let that become flavorful in that butter. Once that is, you'll dump some of the chicken broth, which is why I had the chicken bouillon powder out, because I didn't have any. So I just made my own broth. And once you pour all of that in, you just kind of let that deglaze. When that is, you'll add some flour in as a thickener, just a little bit. You'll stir that all together. Now, once that comes together is when you'll add in your oregano. I don't know if I mentioned that before. I'm not 100% sure. And then your sun-dried tomatoes. These were the actual dry pack, not the kind that was in oil. I decided to use these instead, and it worked out wonderful. Then you'll add in your heavy cream, stir that together, and let that incorporate and become a little bit thicker. Then you'll add your chicken breast into that. You'll want to make sure your chicken breasts are coated, well, after you add the parmesan, of course. Then you'll add in your chicken, coated on all sides, and then you'll put that into the oven at, I think it was 350 or 375. You'll see here in just a minute, for about 35 to 45 minutes, just depending on the thickness of your chicken. Mine were thin, so I cooked mine for 25 to 35. The original recipe will be linked down below, but y'all, this was amazing. It did call for red pepper flakes. I put some on top of mine because the whole family didn't want it in there, but this is definitely a must try, and I hope you all enjoyed it as much as we did. Next up, we are just going to make some chicken quesadillas, which are a family favorite, as I'm sure they are to many. I just have some seasoned pulled rotisserie chicken here. We've got some salsa, and of course you can't have this without some tortilla chips to have with that salsa. Some Spanish rice. That's just the ready rice, and I dumped a can of black beans in here and I added a little bit of salsa to them. That's just how I like mine. But we're just going to go ahead and start with a layer of cheese on a buttered tortilla, of course, so that don't stick to that pan and it gets nice and crispy. We're going to go ahead and put our cheese down, and then we are going to shred up some chicken to put on top of there. And then once that starts to cook all the way through, you'll see the cheese starting to melt, and then I just fold them in half for me. Now when I make them for the boys, I use, of course, 2 tortillas, but that butter gets those so crispy. And these, I mean, you cannot beat a chicken quesadilla. Sometimes I do add my black beans into it, but I didn't do it this night. But there is that chickeny, cheesy goodness right there, and so good and so comforting. Perfect for a Taco Tuesday of a different variation. So I'm just going to go ahead and make my plate, and I'm going to go ahead and sit down and eat my supper. So good, y'all, and so filling. I hope y'all give this one a try. And I did want to mention that I do serve mine up with a little bit of sour cream and salsa on a little cup right there, if you're wondering what was in that one. But that's just how I prefer to eat my quesadillas. Let me know in the comments how y'all eat yours. So this is an oldie but a goodie, but it is delicious. So you need some mayonnaise, some garlic, seasoned salt, black pepper, and garlic powder, and some Parmesan cheese. And then I've already prepped my chicken here. I just cut my chicken breast in half. For sides, I'm just going to make some instant mashed potatoes, some green beans, and some succotash. Brings me back to my childhood there, y'all. So we're just going to make the mix that goes on top of the chicken. You'll need about a cup of mayonnaise in there. I think it's a cup of Parmesan cheese, some garlic, however much your little heart desires, a couple of the seasonings, about a teaspoon each of them. And like I said, however much garlic you want and however much pepper you want. Once you get everything in there, you'll just stir that all together. Just make sure all that seasoning is, displaced evenly in there. Of course, you have to season your chicken. I'm just using Badia Complete. Once that is seasoned, you'll take that mayonnaise and cheese mixture. You could also use Greek yogurt if you're not a mayonnaise fan, but it's delicious. So spread that evenly over your chicken. Bake it at 375 for anywhere from 30 to 40 minutes. While that is baking, you'll just go ahead and make your sides. So I'm just dumping in that succotash there. Heated up my green beans and made those taters, and y'all, this dinner was amazing. I have not made this chicken in a while, but it's definitely going back on the rotation. I forgot how good it was. So if you give this one a try, let me know. Message me or comment on my videos or something and let me know, because that tender chicken, it's just so good, y'all. Perfect for a good weeknight meal or even a Sunday supper. So if you're in a hurry, this is a good one to make. I just picked up some apple chicken sausage here. I have 2 packs of those, some steamable sweet potatoes, and some frozen broccoli because I couldn't find fresh, but that's all right. You make what you have work. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and prep all of this up and put it all on a sheet pan. Put some Badia Complete on there, of course, because it's good on everything, y'all. So once that is in there, I just baked it in the oven until everything was cooked all the way through and just a little bit browned, as you can see there. Oh, y'all, this was perfect this night. I was in a hurry, and this was absolutely delicious. I've made it before, and it never fails me. So if you're in a hurry, definitely give this one a try. It's worth it, y'all. And last but not least, an oldie but a goodie here is my Tuscan chicken pasta. I'll have all the recipes linked below if you all are interested. But basically, you just start by browning up your chicken. You do cook this one all the way through, unlike your the Marry Me chicken. They're similar, but they are different, if that makes sense. So once you have that chicken fried up, you'll just take that same pan, which is kind of nice because it's almost like a one pot meal. Put you some butter and flour in there, make a roux out of it. Then you'll dump in your sun-dried tomatoes, and this one I use the one that are packed in oil, along with some garlic. You'll stir all of that together just to combine it. Once that is, you'll use a whole 10 to 12 ounce bag of spinach. Let that wilt all the way down, and it don't take very long. But once you have that combined, you'll just stir it just to make sure that, you know, everything is kind of broken up in there. You'll take a whole container of heavy whipping cream, depending on the amount of sauce you want is the size of heavy whipping cream you want. But like I said, I'll have the recipe linked below for you all to follow. When you pour the heavy whipping cream, stir it together. You'll add your Parmesan cheese in there as well. Make sure that you stir that very well and let it simmer for about 20 minutes or so. Then while that's simmering, you'll make your pasta. You'll just serve all that up together and then just cut your chicken up for a prettier presentation, of course, and easier eating. But that is it for this week's video. I hope you enjoyed it and it gave you some delicious supper ideas to make for your family or some new ones that you've never heard of. Until next time, my sweet friends, God bless. Bye.